By the way, if you want to speak, just raise your hand, and then someone can put you up there.
Colt Miller. Okay.
Is this
Hello.
just like an open format?
This is this meeting's all open format. You say your piece how you want to say it, and then if a resolution can be resolved from it, then we will go from there.
Okay.
Give me a minute so I can hear it. I need to turn my light on.
You need to turn your light on to hear me.
Yes, I need to turn my living room light on. All right, you are. The floor is yours, Miller.
Okay. I really only have like 3 points. Most like important ones, honestly, and then Rogers gave my fourth one, so not even gonna touch on it too much. Like right off the bat, from when I hopped back in a couple days ago, uh, same fucking shit with cadets. People aren't taking cadets, and if they are taking cadets, they're teaching them the wrong shit. Like gun licenses, that never really changed, or it kind of changed, and then it went back to how it was. The best way of doing it, by the way. Just like a lot of crisscrossing, and cadets just not like knowing basic things. Like and like no particular shade at the cadet who did this the other night. I don't know if they're here or not, but literally the sergeant on duty got fucking RPG'd, like straight up RPG'd, and they were shouting on the radio, can I shoot the person with the RPG? Just like, we need to be doing a better job of making sure that the cadets know that, it's okay to take initiative because you're at the point where you can kind of do that. And if you don't have an FTO with you, that's a different story, but something for discussion among command and FTO command for sure. Yeah. Next point. Overall unprofessionalism from command general. Recently, I had the pleasure slash displeasure of attending a raid, and as we were doing the briefing for the raid, two command members got into it with each other over fucking bullshit. Now, I don't know what's happened since I dipped, but if it were my ship, you both would have been fucking yelled at on the roof. But that's just me. I think command in general is just very bitchy, and tensions are stupid high for no reason. That's my piece on that. Command chat's there for a reason. If you scroll up, you see that it's used correctly in the past. Use it, you know, fucking yell at each other, hate each other there, get it out, and then make it professional for everybody else. Um, Finally, leading by example. Some people say to do this, and then other people say to do something else entirely. We need one message at a time. So, wires crossed happens way too easily, and too many people get confused. Like gun licenses. Two different people had like two different answers, two different explanations for that. So more consistency, more communication with command to disseminate to supervisors, and so on and so forth. It just makes things easier if everybody's on the same page. And then I guess the final point that I kind of harp on that, chases can be done a lot better. I'm like, essentially we were on a chase and I was tertiary, and I'm fairly sure that it was a two-person car in front of me, and there was no comms for at least 30 minutes, like 30 seconds to a minute, and we made several direction changes. So that's just not helpful to the people who are trying to get in front. So standard of chases definitely needs to improve in that regard. But yeah, that's all I've seen before. I'm sure there's other things, but yeah.
Okay. So we'll start from the first one. So weapons licenses. So as it is stated within the handbook, and as I've been trained in the past, others have been trained, but it has not changed. Grab their ID. You run a check on their profile. Make sure they don't have any convictions. Get them to do the test. Once they've done the test, as long as they get 6 out of the 9 correct, it's a pass. But they still have to wait 24 hours before you actually grant the license. Charge them the 10K fine, and then they'll be on the way. But also with that, you also got to make sure you take their photo, you take their fingerprint, and then you also write down their MDT with the template, which is in police chat. It's in police chat pinned of the template. The template is there to be used. So make sure that we will start using it. Now, the second point, with a lot of command being unprofessional. For anybody that has been reading it, Miller and everybody else, my apologies to you guys for reading it. It shouldn't be something you guys are reading, and it will be stopping today. I will make sure it be stopped today. There's something that shouldn't be happening. Commander's supposed to be there working together as a team, but also working with you guys as a team and helping you guys out with any issues and any problems that you gotta have. So I will personally sit down with the entirety of the command team, and I will pull it out blunt to them. It either stops now, or you give me a badge. Now the third thing, communication. I get that communication over the last couple of days, communication has been pretty tough. A lot of people have not been doing it, and a lot of people are forgetting to do it. When we're in an active situation, communication is key. It's how we understand what we are what others are doing. It's how others understand what you are doing, and it's how we deal with the situation to bring it down to a peaceful resolution where not only that our lives are safe, but also your colleagues' lives are safe and the civilians around you. So we also got to remember situational awareness within that matter. So just try bring the comms back up and make them OP again. But I'm also going to make it known, if you do not hear communications involved in a situation that you are part of, take note, send it to me. Because if it's people that are in the positions of senior and above that are making these mistakes, then obviously they're in a position that is too high that they need to learn a bit more. So I may need to rechange the rank structure and bring them down until they start understanding, start learning. This is how we do our shift. This is our handbook. This is our communication and comms. Does that seem fair enough to you, Miller?
Yeah. Sure thing. Word talk is cheap. You know that's how I'm always so.
I understand that.
You know the shit list. Good man.
Of course. Is there any other points that you would like to bring up before I switch you with Rogers?
Nope. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Alright, we'll bring up Rogers so he can bring up his points.
Yo, what's up, guys? Snow, can you hear me?
I can indeed.
All right, man. I'm driving home from work, so I hope the quality's good enough. First and foremost, welcome back, Miller. You took some time off, dude. I just want to say welcome back. He hired me into this department almost a year ago now. Next month, glad to see you back, man. Glad to be working with you again. Aside from that, I guess the things that I've seen the most issues with would be I guess there's like 2 or 3 points I want to touch on, and then Snow, you can have the floor, dude. And I'll step back down. Number one would being I read emails the other day. I can't remember who put it in the emails, whether it was a cadet or like a new officer, whatever it was. But somebody put in the emails about something to do during like bank situations. Like, how do you react during bank situations? I guess I don't know if they're talking about hostage negotiations or scene limits or whatever. But if that is an officer who has passed like academy, that like 90% of the job whenever we're on duty, 90%, 95% of our job, dude, we're doing like bank robberies or active chases that stem from some kind sort of robbery, whether it be a store robbery or a bank. Um, and like I said, my apologies for not remembering who put in the email, but if that was an officer, like that is something that should be like day one, day two, like academy type stuff. And if they have advanced that far into their career with the LSPD or whatever you have, you know what I'm saying? That's something we need to take a step back and evaluate from the top down. If these guys are being passed through academy just because, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but whether it just become lackluster or laziness or whatever the case may be, I think we need to take a step back. These people coming in, being in the force for like a week and just being advanced and you know not really being signed off on these standard operating procedures. Man, we're enabling these people to do bad, and we're throwing them to the wolves. In turn, that's going to lead to more IA cases, court cases that are lost. PD's going to have to start paying lawsuits. I think we need to slow down with the advancement of people coming into the police force. Take it as these people don't know anything, as if they were Charlie cadets. Teach them everything from the ground all the way up to as much as they need to know, where they can branch off on their own. That's one thing. With that being said, on to the next point would be probably chain of command. I was on duty not long ago, and I was at a bank robbery with a cadet that was, at the time I wasn't an FTO. Now I am. With that being said, though, at the time I wasn't an FTO. So the cadet was just riding with me. I was kind of just helping him out, giving him some pointers, and I'm pretty sure it was like maybe a solo cadet, maybe, or whoever the case may be. And so we sent the cadet in to make the negotiations for the hostage, to get the hostage out alive. And as he came out, he told me what the demands were, rather than and I wasn't highest on command either. I do believe there was a sergeant on duty. And when he came out, he was about to say it over the radio about what the demands were. And all of a sudden, I'm pretty sure like a solo cadet officer maybe, or just an officer, kind of just said, yeah, go ahead and grant them those things. And actually, you know what? Let me just take it. I was like, well, hold on. Let him call that over the radio. You know what I'm saying? There's a chain of command here. We need to do a lot better job as far as the senior officers or whoever the most outranking officer is making sure those demands are clear, and making sure that pits are clear for go, and considering whether a target is code red or not, depending on the situation. That would be the second topic, would be chain of command, and the third one was going to be let me see if I can remember what it was. I'm driving right now. I can't look at my notes that I had placed out.
It's all good. Wanda, Hunter, we'll let you come up in a minute once Roger's finished his piece.
Man, I can't remember my other point. So if you want, man, just go ahead and take the floor, man. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Okay. So on the points that you have stated, Rogers. Now, you were not in the wrong for stepping in with that active situation. Now, we all have to understand, within active situations, 1090s, 1080s, there is always chain of command. So whoever is on first on scene to that situation is scene commander. Okay? Doesn't matter if you're a cadet, an officer, corporal, captain. If you are first one on that scene, you are commander of that situation. So if somebody is not doing what they are told on that scene, you have all rights to tell them to get off your situation. Doesn't matter who it is. And if they do not obey and listen to your commands as scene commander, take note of who it is, bring it to chain of command. Because it's things like that that slip through the cracks and then create bigger cracks in the department. And that's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make a department that knows how to work together, knows how to combine bridges and make something of this United PD a lot better for the future. So if you don't know anything about scene control and scene commands, go take a look in the handbook. It's all written in black and white in the handbook of how to do it. If you want more of an explanation into it than what the handbook is telling you, ask someone, ask your fellow colleague that's within the same rank. That's what we're all here for. It doesn't matter if they are higher than you or the same rank as you. You don't always have to go to a command member, a high command member, or an academy command member to ask a question. You can ask your fellow colleagues because they may know how to do it, and then they can teach you how to do it, and you can branch off them. We're all supposed to branch off each other. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm learning from all you lot. Even though I'm in the position that I'm in, I still learn from everything you guys do. So it doesn't always have to come to command and high command, academy command, division command. We all branch off each other. We all learn from each other. Alright. I'm gonna bring Hunter up now so he can ask his question.
Hello. It's not question. It's just to like kind of respond to like Rogers and Miller about the whole cadet thing. And I think Robin will also agree. Like we've been trying like our best to get people as informed as we can, but once they're solo cleared or like once they're like out of that cadet zone, it's mostly up to them and what they want to do. And I feel like what happens is they get mixed with the wrong kind of officers sometimes. And this is speaking from like personal experience, but I've seen like officers like doing stuff that they would have failed if they were a cadet, basically. Like, going in.
Speak freely. You
Yeah,
can state names. This is
I don't
why
even
we're
know.
here. You
Well, I
can
don't know their names, obviously, so
you
that's
can
why
state
I'm
names.
saying. Okay. I'm drinking my tea right now, so shut up. Yeah. So basically, I've had what's it called, cadets who are like, um, Claire Anderson, like one of my best cadets. She like her, like cadets like her, they can get stuff easily, and there are other cadets who take a longer time because mainly because they're new to the city and they need to start like they need more time to just get a grip of like everything, like how to even like how the city works basically. um so I think like one suggestion I do have is we should bring back academy before putting them back, putting them on the like um in the
Back in the
road.
field.
Yeah, like I feel like that would be a better option, so that way like they're more familiar with a lot of the stuff before like because it's really hard to like just explain everything all at once, and then um yeah, I mean that's also a great idea. Like ride-alongs, just ride-alongs, nothing else. That would be so much better than like just putting them on the field with no knowledge, basically. Because that's kind of what we're doing. Like we are trying to teach them how to do stuff, but it's kind of hard to teach them at the same time trying to sort a shootout, basically. Like when they don't even know what to do. Like do they shoot? Do they like what they have no idea basically. Yeah, I understand. Like, not all cadets, like, some have experience as well, but then you have some people who have literally no clue what the fuck they want to do. So I feel like the best option would be to just start them off with an academy, give them the basics. We should bring back shootouts for academy as well. That was a really great practice, and I get to shoot Wonder. So yeah. Other than that, yeah, I think that's all I have to say.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Okay. So good input so far. Anybody else have anything else they would like to say that they have seen in the field, within emails, within divisions? This is your time to speak up. Like, don't be afraid to speak up. Like, it's not going to be held against you.
Also, like, are there any cadets who may have any questions as well? The arguing and passive aggressiveness in PD chat that I've noticed. It's quite
Okay.
cringe.
So,
Yeah.
Miss Anderson, I understand and I see where you're coming from with that. Okay. Like I said a few months ago, my apologies for you seeing that and witnessing that. It shouldn't have happened in PD chat, and it will not happen in PD chat again. Because if I see it again, expect yourself not to have access to PD chat for 24 hours. The
On
reason
that note as
hang
well.
on
Sorry.
the reason for PD chat is so that everyone has a place to speak either in character or out of character about anything, but not to bitch and argue between each other. Like, we are all adults. Well, I God hope that everybody here is an adult, not a child. So to hear and to get told as well that there is a lot of tension in PD chat between a load of people, I don't want to be seeing it. Like, if there is an issue if you have an issue with someone, either talk to that person privately, and if you can't come to a solution to resolve that problem, then you can bring it to my attention and I will squash it. Because in this department, we are supposed to work together. There we go. You can say what you want.
All right, so I was gonna say, like, from a staff perspective as well, like I've said this before, one time in the police chat before as well, and I'm gonna say this again. If you mix up your crim character in the police chat, I will remove your like police roles. Like we've said this before, like don't mix your characters. If you have an issue, open an IA case or a ticket in the main server, and staff or like the IA will look at it. Like, don't mix it up. That's all.
Okay, yep. So that is also one thing as well. Adding PD to get on duty when you're on your crim character. Now that needs to come to a stop. Right here, right now. Like, I get it's frustrating. You're on your crim character. You want cops to fly in. You want them to do cop work and chase you in a bank or chase you in your car, get into a shootout with you. What you have to understand is that if they're not on duty, they're not on duty for a reason. They are dealing with other priorities. Now, Notorious is a safe place, somewhere to go have fun. It's not mandatory to fly in, well, join the server every single day. It's not mandatory. You're not required to fly in 24/7, 7 days a week. So the at-in in police chat for units to come on duty when you're on your crim character needs to stop. Right here, right now. My next point. 1080 chases. Now we've already brought up the communication part of it. When you're in an active chase, because it's been brought to my attention, not from a civilian point of view or a cop's point of view, but from a staff's point of view. Not all chases have to keep continuing, right? Start looking at situation awareness. Like if the situation is getting too heated or the chase is getting too unsafe, break off from it. We have license plate readers for a reason. Grab the plate, pull off the chase, and then put out a warrant out for the car. There has been times after times where chases got too excessive to the point that it should have been called off, and people need to start calling off the chase when it gets too much. So I'm going to be looking at my command staff, as well as others that are not in commands that show a lot of intuition into PD, to start showing examples of that. Because as we all know, our job is our job within the server is to protect those who don't have protection, civilians. Okay. What is this I'm reading? Also, it wasn't on COD, but this happened. Not be the right time to say it, but forecast for a store is crazy. Okay. Store robberies, 2 cars. I'm gonna clear that down. Store robberies are 2 cars. Once it gets to in chase, a 3rd car can add to it. You don't need 3 cars at a store, you just need 2 cars. Doesn't matter how many of bodies are there, as long as there's 2 cars. You can be doubled up, don't be tripled up, because Chief put out his announcement. You double up is fine, triple up is not. But yeah, store robbery is 2 people, and 2 people on there. Okay. Any other questions? Don't just stop the chase because there are no more than the given limit. Just report it after trying to keep the RP going. 4 deep though. No, 4 deep is not allowed. Okay, anybody else have any questions? Anybody have anything they'd like to say? Like, the only way that we can make this department better is by talking out. So if there is an issue within the department, let's hash it out right here, right now. Any of my fellow command members, anything you would like to put across? I know Academy and Cadets were brought up a few times. Any Academy command want to come up and voice your points? Okay. Anything from state? I know there's been a few state on that have been on duty lately. Anything that you want to bring across that you feel like the UPD needs to change? Hey, Wonder. The floor is yours,
Hey.
Wonder.
Okay, I'll just talk about Academy. Obviously we had our first Academy in like months the other day. Went well. That being said, I want to keep pushing for Academy. Well, actual academies, including like just overall doing more with cadets, because it's obviously lacking. It's pretty obvious. That being said, I think a reason it's lacking is our overall FTOs. I think a lot of command members and even high command don't want to take cadets. I mean, you guys are FTOs for a reason. I understand it sucks to take a cadet sometimes, but we're all FTOs for a reason. You still have to do your job, and if anything, especially command plus, you guys should want to take cadets. You guys should lead by example and want to take them out on patrol. I think that's just why you are command. Like, you should do your job. If you don't want to be command, don't be command. Get out of command position. It's that simple. But I will look into doing more with Academy. I'm trying my best.
This is so good. It's everything is a learning curve. Like, don't get me wrong, I've failed in my part with cadets. Like, I've just been absolutely swarmed with other obligations. Now those other obligations are dealt with. I'm here to help you guys.
All right, that's all I had to say. If anyone has any questions, I'll come back. But
Okay. Anything else that anybody would like to bring up? Any questions anybody would like to ask? Anyone? Rogers, did you find your other notes? Anybody can be an FTT. Anybody can be an FTT. As long as you show consistency and you know how to do your job in and out of the field, and you feel like that what you do in and out of the field that you want to pass down to the newer generation that is joining the department. Speak to Academy Command. Put an LOI in to become an FTT. And then work your way up. Okay, Miller has something he would like to say again. Floor is yours.
Talk is cheap. Do it.
Say
Mean
again.
it. Talk is cheap. Lead by example. Do it. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Thank you. That's really about
Okay.
it.
The poet wanted to say a poem.
Motherfucker. Also, bird strikes are way too common when you're flying. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, bird strikes, you know. Okay. Anything anybody else want to bring up? I'm looking at you, Command.
Oh, I don't got nothing, man.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I was just talking shit. Somebody invited me to speak. I was like, all right.
Oh, well, it looks like you're up here to speak. I know you've been on duty for the last couple of days. Anything you've seen that needs to be changed or needs to be worked on a lot more? Now, so we don't speak over the talk
proper
on the same
proper
same things that have already been happened. Communication's already been brought up. Academy's been brought up. Chases have been brought up.
filing out paperwork for DMV vehicles on scenes to actually properly stop people at some point from using their own cars on what's it called, banks and stuff like that, personal vehicles. If everybody does their job and properly files out paperwork constantly for them, then at some point they're going to get enough strikes and it's going to start getting to seizures, and then it's going to be a lot of seizures, and then they're not going to have their car for 3 days, 5 days. It just builds up over time, so it's a lot better, and then they don't get to use those cars, and then they get to have, you probably will have a lot better chases.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. There is a template for the DMV. It's pretty simple. It's literally just Control C, Control V. You just copy the whole lot into the DMV and then fill up the first part. That's it. But the DMV part, everybody needs to start doing that. Take a picture of the car, not just the back of it and the plate, but take a picture of the whole car from the front side, so everybody can see what the car looks like. Now, I understand that some cars do have information on them and the pictures have disappeared. Now, that will happen from time to time. We don't know how to fix that issue just yet. But if the DMV has been filled out and the picture is missing, just add a new one. Just add a new picture to it. Okay. Anything else, Lieutenant?
Nah, that was the only thing I really had.
Oh, my bad, Captain.
Did I get promoted?
Well, we're trying to promote. You keep denying it.
Oh. No, I just told him. I just don't think I'm the
Yeah.
right person you want for a captain.
Keep denying it. Okay. Miller, you come with
Police
another poem.
chat, police chat, police chat. Literally the two things you just mentioned, both templates are in police information. A shit ton of other useful fucking shits in police information. Go look at it. You'll have fun with it. I promise. Yeah, that's it. Again, police information's your best friend.
Well, police information, police documents. They will help you in the long run. There's something you don't know how to do, or something you don't know, go look at those two channels.
Thank you, Robin.
And if there is any, and if you feel like there hasn't been an update to any of those, go look in the announcements. There's always an announcements to a change.
Can we also normalize command making announcements in the proper channel as opposed to police chat at 10:52 in the evening or 6 in the morning announcements? EU people.
Hey, don't you start.
Also, you never answered the question. When did this Tron chase happen?
Oh, you weren't part of it. I already know who was part of it. You have no need to worry. I already know who was part of it. Okay, anything else anybody would like to say? Okay. So until somebody wants to come forward and say their piece, like in the announcement from state from Friday, MRPD will be quarantined, so you will not be able to fly in at MRPD. So what I would suggest, if you do have personal cars at MRPD, that you get them moved to a different car lot. For those that were there when it was spoken up, there has been a massive outbreak in asbestos in the communal area on the second floor. And we're going to have to shut the building down for it to be looked over by inspectors and the CDC. Because, you know, asbestos is some deadly stuff. So, yeah, from Friday onwards, we will be operating out of state. Chief Street and the commissioner and the rest of the state, they have allowed us the accessibility of their station until our station gets fixed. So round of applause for them. If anybody doesn't know the state station that well, any state is more than happy to show you around. I'm more than happy to show you around the station so you can get used to it. A few things you'd have to get used to though is there is only 4 cells in that station. And it is very open. So just be very cautious and careful of what you speak about when there is a suspect in the cells. And just be respectful of the property, okay? It's not our building, it's not our home. If there is something in that station that is not yours, don't touch it. Today is Friday. Today Friday? Today is Friday, actually. Rest in peace, State PD on top. Hey, listen, enough of that. We're all here to work together. This is not in character, just say it. Wait, Wanda, you want the real reason to why we're leaving MRPD? Oh, you already know the reason. Oh yeah, of course you would. But yeah, Light Street just said in 2 hours, MRPD will be closed. The announcement was because of asbestos. STDs. No, it's not because of STDs. Alright, let's find out where.
That would be an interesting DOJ court case right there.
Which one?
But no, the talking about a lawsuit for his lungs, being that he might have been breathing in asbestos. I wanted to keep it in characters rather than city, so we did the whole asbestos thing. But main reason why we're closing down the Mission Road PD station is because I'm pretty sure people have gotten the crash error Yankee Lamp Indigo, I think is what it is. The error, we know it's coming from a map. One of our buildings is causing the error. I can't narrow down exactly which one yet, but I know we've had a lot of issue out of the PD station being every time someone's around Legion Square, the frame rate of any person just goes to absolutely nothing. In the past, if you were here before, we switched to the Vespucci police station for a while. When we did, it cleared up Legion Square almost instantly. No more lag was happening around that area. People were able to fly through it, mock whatever, and they weren't crashing around that area anymore. When we brought Mission Row PD back because the Vespucci station was conflicting within our map, we started having that issue again. So basically, the fact of the matter is, it's a very good possibility that it's the Mission Row PD station that's causing a lot of headaches / crashes in the city. So in order to do a test on it to make sure it's actually what it actually is, we're going to be temporarily moving to the state police station while that map is turned off, and we monitor how the server runs. If the server runs better without it, as far as no crashes, or less crashes at least, and like frame rate and round legion's better and all that kind of stuff, then we're going to keep the map out and look for another map. The Mission Row PD map, even though it's from Gabs, which is a very good, reputable map developer, it's also one of his first maps. It's extremely freaking old. So it's a possibility that it's just outdone its use. Not to mention, another possibility is we might have a lot more maps in the area than all of our servers, being the pizza place, autos, freaking paintball arena, everything over there. There's tons of stuff over there. But kind of separating from that building might be a good thing. But if we do move to a new PD station, we're going to keep in mind that we need a big garage, a lot of cells, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it was removed, but we didn't have any increase, and the crashes have still continued. So for whatever reason, this Yankee lamp, I've done actually hours of research into this particular crash code. It's affecting FiveM wide. Anyone with a certain type of map error or anything will have that crash error, and it's from the new DLC that apparently Rockstar put out on GTA 5, where it's some kind of like remastered texture or something or whatnot. Basically, it's throwing havoc on a lot of FiveM servers. I've been in CFX's Discord asking about it, if I can get anything. I've been in Gab's Discord. I've been all over CFX's GitHub. I've been trying to find every possible way of fixing it, and everything it seems to be narrowing down to the map. Paintball is still going to be around, where you're going to be using the paintball arena at the prison, which is a huge outdoor course. It's got a lot more barricades, it's more open. So we're going to move all the PEDs and everything that you need to have paintball. We're going to move it all up north. Plus, we just get better frame rate up north anyway. It's a lot less buildings, a lot less people. So. I haven't looked at the map. I was told it's a good map by our staff team, so I haven't actually personally looked into it. If it's needed one of those like phasing things, I can either get a ramp over there to help with that, or we can work something out. There's a lot of doors that actually have to have a door script and to even open. So I can see if we can work out that problem. You ramped a car into it. That's legit.
Enjoy the concussion. Okay, so
Yeah, I said mock whatever.
Any other questions anybody has? If like some of you are too shy to come up and voice it, just post it in the chat. I can read it out. Can we do more events for PD? And what type of events do you have in mind? Do I just send an LOI to the head of the department, or do I find the requirements to join them?
Oh, there was something I wanted to bring up actually. In the police chat, in the main police chat, I asked, I think it was Easter Day or the day before, if anyone's ever played 5PD. If no one's familiar with it, then you might be familiar with its basically sister, Alice PDFR, which is a single player cops versus crims, but the crims are locals type of deal. And it's really nice, and a lot of people will have a lot of fun with it, and it's a very, very cool thing of where you're a cop and everything you're dealing with is locals, so you're able to pull locals over, you're able to give them fines. There's even a whole dangum MDT for locals, so you can actually do reports on locals and actually have it matter. And not only that, but it's a possibility of actually running into that local again. So if you create a report on a local because he ran a stoplight, you might actually meet that local again later on. It could be the same name. As well as that, there's tons and tons and tons and tons of callouts. I'm still looking into the rest of the callouts. But basically, it's a whole system. Yes, you can cuff locals, you can put them in the back of your car, you can search them, you can ask them questions. You can have a full out freaking dialogue with a local. I can show a couple people. I can be in police chat or something, and I can show a couple people around because I have it in the dev server right now. I'm playing with it. There's a couple of things we need to work out as far as bugs and a couple other things because it's not really meant to work with the QB server or really any other framework. It's meant to be as a standalone. But we're trying to get it to where our PD can basically have that. So with that though, we will have two MDT systems, one for civilians as far as all the players, and then one for locals. There is no way of integrating two. Now, with that, does that take away from RP? I'm confused. Basically, the intention of it is, and it's not even like you have to go on these local calls. The local calls are just going to continue as whatever, but so the entire point of it is for when it gets slow. If there's like no criminal activity going on or something like that during like maybe the off hours and the EU time frames, maybe later in the day for the NA or really, really early in the day for NA, there's just not many crims around doing criminal stuff. So this is to have it to where you can continue having your day full of doing PD stuff. I mean, I've had like just in testing, I've gone on a full freaking police chase with a local, pitting them out several times and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be a balance, but the whole idea behind it is it's to fill the gap of downtime. If you want to, like, it's not even a requirement. You have to do it. No, I doubt it. Now there are going to be calls of like a high speed pursuit with an armed van, where the van has got two locals that are shooting you from the back of the van. I've had that call out. So, and you don't have to accept the call out either. It's an option. And you even have the option of doing it with friends too if you want to. You can either invite the entire department, or if you guys want to, stack 2, 3 in a car and go on calls, you can. I can show, like I said, I can show quite a few people like how it works and everything in the dev server. It's really cool.
Wait, it's in the dev
It's
server
gonna
right
go
now?
in. Yes,
Oh,
but
I
it's
might have
also
to
going to
take a look
go
at that.
coincide. It's going to coincide with a new update to our EMS, EMS and fire, where we're beginning a fire department. The fire department will be able to put out fires in town. Random fires are just going to go off, and they're going to need to put the fires out. So there's going to be plenty more for them to do. And there's actually basically a 5 PD. That's what it's called. It's 5 PD. There is actually a 5 PD for EMS too that I'm trying to find. That one's more difficult.
Okay, my only curiosity is I didn't realize, I know we had talked about this before, Cap. If they're able to shoot out of the back of the fucking thing at you, are we gonna bring shooting from cars back into city so that we can return fire, or are we just sitting ducks in our cruisers?
But no, we're adding car shooting back.
Okay, all right.
But car shooting is going to be restricted to the first 180 degrees in front of your vehicle. You're not going to shoot directly backwards.
Sounds good.
It's just the mathematics of that is actually ridiculously difficult.
Understandable. All right, well, I'm gonna go fuck off back into the crap.
Okay. Yeah, no reverse shooting. And we're adding car shooting back. No reverse shooting. The second that it's basically, if you were to look straight and put your arms out completely like a snow angel, like you're on the ground making a snow angel on the ground, your arms are the limits of you shooting. It's 180 degrees from what you're facing. Same thing, passengers, everyone inside of a vehicle. When you're inside of a vehicle, you can only shoot with 180 degrees from the front of the car.
It's the
So if
same
the
for the
car goes into a
passengers.
spin, yeah. If the car goes into a spin and they spin around and look at you dead in the face with their engine bay is pointing at you, you're within that 180 degrees. But the second they spin around to get away, they're again not gonna be able to shoot. I don't think they were up and running during that. But yeah, but we will be adding because everyone wants the car shooting back. But we're going to be adding it where it's going to be 180 in front of the car. And for certain things, like I know bikes, you can like kick off the bike or hit people with like a wrench or something like that off the side of the bike. Certain weapons are going to be whitelisted to where you can just do it all the time. Unarmed is technically the classification of weapon when you don't have one. So at that point, you can it's completely 100 as full 360. So if someone wants to like flip you off outside their car or something like that, they can look directly behind them and flip you off. So that's going to be whitelisted, as well as you'll be able to kick off motorcycles and stuff like that again, and all that kind of different stuff. Where's the what? Remember 270's pilot license? Oh.
Wow, dude. Hey, it's not my fault. I hit bird strikes.
333. You're talking about 270 degrees?
No, he's on about me and my pilot's license. .270 is my call sign.
Yeah, I think no, he's talking about like opening it up instead of 180 degrees.
No. So what Rogers is on about is he said my call sign, and he's on about, is there a way to remove my pilot's license? There's no way to remove my pilot's license. shit happens. First strikes happen. But I have one more thing to say and to talk about with you guys. It's not come from me. This has come from staff that have seen it.
Gotta go.
Being very power hungry. Now the staff have noticed this, and they've spoken to me about it, and I've seen clips of this happen. It just, we all need to dial it down, not be so hungry just to win every scene, win every situation. Like, we all jump into the server to have fun and to enjoy ourselves. So to hear from other staff members that there is people in the department that are trying to take over absolutely everything and have it their way and not expanding their roleplay into other demeanors, it all needs to come back. Just dial it back, come back to a mellow level, and just enjoy it. Like, if something happens that you don't like, finish the situation, go take 5 minutes. But this power hungry sort of attitude that people are seeing within PD, it stops today. Like, when we go on a chase for 2 hours and finally find the person and get told to stand down, it's RP as well to get these guys. Yes. Yes, it's always it's all RP. You and Copper would be too much in that emo group. Agreeing. It's our RP to get them. At the end of the day, it's a game. We're trying to have fun. Stop being a dick. Yes. Agreed. Welcome back, State.
I had to dip. Hammer had a.
Yeah, it's all good. Does the commissioner have anything he wants to say? Do we know?
Not from when I talked to him. What we were talking about was someone doing something they probably shouldn't.
Yeah, guys. I'm a bit late to all this, so I don't know if it was spoken about. But tackling when someone's got a gun, is that still going to be a thing? Because that's really fucking annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
So the tackling when you have a gun out was disabled to prevent warlording. At first, we allowed it, but it seemed everybody was starting to do it. So basically, warlording got removed, and that is why that got removed.
See, because the only issue that I have that, I mean, I don't know if everyone else saw it. I'm just speaking from like my point of view, and probably most likely the K9 point of view. We're completely useless. Not gonna lie. Like, we're in the chase, we can't do anything. We're literally just there. We're just bodies to be shot at, in a sense. So if we're in a chase, we can't tackle anyone. We just have to go straight for the attack. But then we don't do enough damage to make any significant change or anything. Do you see my point of view? Like, where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I get it. I can look into re-enabling the tackle for canines, especially since you guys can't even have weapons to begin with. You guys can't like shoot or anything, so technically you can't warlord. So yeah, I can look into re-enabling being able to tackle someone with a firearm for K9 only. As far as everyone else getting it, that's going to be have to talk with the owners. It was removed at the owner level, so not even I can fully put that back in.
Okay, that's fair enough. It was just again from Canon point of view, we're just there, we just exist. We can't actually do anything. So it'd be good if we could actually start tackling people.
Yeah, I can look into getting that. Although you'd actually be able to sniff cars and people still.
Yeah, we can still
You know,
do all
order them.
that. Yeah, obviously we can
Okay.
still do that. We could do everything else, but majority of the time people are gonna end up running, and then we
Yeah.
just have to chase after them and not do anything.
Yeah, I can look
Yeah.
into possibly re-enabling that again.
Cool. Oh,
What?
that was it.
What's funny,
Back,
Miller?
back to the crowd.
Okay. What's funny? What did I miss? Oh, that's
So I don't know if y'all can hear me very well. I'm on my phone, but the whole tackling with a gun out situation, it's becoming quite a bit of an issue. I'm watching people get out of their cars, immediately put a gun in their hand and run when they get disabled. So us as officers, the only option we have is to tase them. And when you pull your taser up as you're running, you lose a whole bunch of distance in between you and them when you go to tase them. And if you're unsuccessful, you can actually lose them in a chase because of that. So I'm watching people being warlords, basically, or whatever you called it, by just immediately pulling out guns and running. So they cannot be tackled anymore.
yeah. Um, sounds completely plausible. Like I said, I have no ability to change it. I can't at the owner level. If you want to have the change, I'd probably suggest putting a suggestion. And when we go through suggestions, that's something we can talk to directly to Hammer about, and possibly having an override to Brody because 10 that was a Brody change. So
Okay. So the only other option we have technically is to start using bean bags more often, because when people start popping pills, which Wonder did give us the the option that if somebody's popping pills or on speed drugs or something like that, that we can use their bean bags. But in my personal opinion, the only way to actually catch somebody that's running their ass off like that, or having a gun out and running, is to basically use a bean bag, because you're not going to catch them, or you're going to have pills to pop or some kind of speed food as well.
right. No, I'd say beanbag and tasers probably the best.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
And
kind of what I'm thinking too.
Something else with tasers, I know you can actually have them in your car. So if you see they're about to get out, if you pull the taser out in your vehicle, you don't go through the animation of actually pulling it out. Same thing with
It's
your
not
iron.
it's not the pulling out part. It's the when you go to aim, you slow down so much that you can't actually get it to fire by the time they're way away from you.
Oh, you're talking about quick firing a taser?
Well, yeah, I don't have crosshairs on my screens because I feel that's cheating in my opinion. So I
No,
actually
either.
have to pull up and aim, and when you actually aim, it slows your body down quite a bit.
Hmm. Well, yeah.
That's the other problem I've been having with the whole non being able to tackle with a gun thing, because just everybody's just pulling guns, so you can't tackle them now.
It's either going to be one extreme or the other. It's either going to be this,
Yep.
or people are just going to start warlording again, and then you're just going to be dead. So I would basically say, especially with how much range the range has been knocked down on the beanbag gun, but still
It
the other gun
has.
does have a good bit of range.
It does. It does have a decent amount, but I have noticed it has been knocked down quite a bit.
Roger, that's something I need to talk to the owners about. As a dev, I can't make that call. I might be lead dev, but I don't do staff. stuff.
Yeah, that's an ownership decision as well as a suggestion.
Yeah, so I'll throw that in suggestions because we're about to go through suggestions here soon. After our boost, because we've been going stupid crazy on getting ready for this boost.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
I,
gonna
I
be
don't
busy for at least the next 4 days.
I don't understand what they mean by tackling war learning. Is it just because people would tackle you and then shoot you right there on the spot so you die instantly? Is that what they're talking about?
Yes, that's warlording. Is they can just run up to you, tackle you, and then just basically spray you down full bullets while you're on the ground.
I mean, in my personal opinion, I had an instance last night where, matter of fact, John Hill came up to me and pointed a gun at my face while I'm in a car, and I had nothing to do. I couldn't do anything, and he just sprayed me down. You know, I've got the clip of that we're going to share with PD here in a little bit. That it's not being able to shoot out of a car to defend yourself or anything. You know, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm gonna
But
step. Was your car on?
was my car on? Yes.
You could have just hit the
I ran
gas.
him over.
I didn't have an opportunity to. I mean, yeah, I did kind of. Okay, so basically what happened was they came out and pointed guns at us on both sides. And he's like, get out of the car. So I immediately hit the radio and said they're taking us hostage, and then they just sprayed us down.
So you should just not worry about the radio and just hit the gas. If your engine's still on, you can still drive away.
Yeah, true.
That's you fearing your life by hitting the gas.
Good point. You made a good point there. That was one thing I
Yeah,
did
they're-
screw up on. I didn't hit the gas pedal. But I mean,
Yeah,
even
they're
if I would
dumb
have hit the
enough to
gas
stand in
pedal,
front of your car.
no, they were on either sides. They had one on the driver's side window and one on the passenger side window.
Yeah, so you could drive forwards or backwards.
Yeah, I might have been able to get away from that.
Fast enough going backwards. Plus, you're opening
Yeah, I could have gone
yourself up
forward.
with a windshield. I would definitely going forwards.
Yeah, I should have
Yeah,
gone forward
hit
and
the
just took
gas,
off.
drive to a safe location, pull for
Most of the time,
backup,
yeah.
engage.
Yep.
Yeah, most of the time, if someone's pointing at you, yes, you do have to just really comply with whatever the crap's going on. But we do have it to where if you're in the car, the vehicle is turned on. You can't turn the car on and then go. If the vehicle is on, you basically have your foot on the gas pedal already, so you can just dip at that point.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's one thing I was kind of leery on. This is the whole fear for life thing. I was under the understanding that once you have a gun pointed in your face, you can't do anything. So it was a fear for your life. That's what I was worried about.
Well, I had a conversation with John about that for a little bit of a lengthy time period because he was trying to make the whole thing of like, well, Krens, if we have a gun pointed in their face, like after a pit or like we pin them in or something like that, then they're not supposed to run. He's like, well, that's not gonna be fun at that point because we can just always have guns on or whatever. It's like it goes both ways. We have
Right.
guns on them, they still run. They have guns on us, we can still run. So it's a English is hard. It's a two-way matter. Like, there's not
Yeah.
rules that apply for one group of people and not the other.
Okay. Now that that's clarified, that's exactly what I'll do from here moving forward. Because, like I said, it was one of those situations where when you have guns on either side of you, that you don't, you're like, okay, I'm supposed to fear for my life at this point. I'm not going to try to drive away. And even if I would have tried to drive away, they had class 3s. More than likely I'd have ended up dead anyways, me and the cadet.
Probably. But at least then maybe you would get maybe a chance or something.
Yeah, there's a possibility. There's always a possibility.
Yeah.
But,
Is
all right,
there
well,
is there anything else, Freeman, you would like to bring up?
Someday we're going to revoke your pilot license.
Hmm.
I'm just kidding, Snow. I just had to say it. I'm just kidding. I will admit, though, to everyone that's saying that we need to revoke Snow's license, every once in a while, these helicopters do have some glitchy shit to them and will do some really odd stuff and just completely annihilate you for no reason.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of instances where I've taken off from MRPD and literally hit a brick wall in the sky, and it just flings you around like a tornado and you hit the ground. I've had that. I've had where the helicopter's gone into the helipad. If you go into the for instance, if you go into Enzona and you come back out and the helicopter's half in the helipad, and it'll just pop up and blow up. There's different things that just happen with these things, but for the most part, they're pretty good, except for there is a couple of weird glitchy things with them. So I will stand up for Snow, except for when he just decides to fly into a fucking tree every once in a while. Excuse my language.
Gotta protect the wildlife. I was about to hit birds.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna take out the squirrels instead.
Yeah, fuck them.
All right,
Alright.
I'm gonna go jump on my computer here in a second, so I'll be seeing y'all in city here shortly.
Alright, no worries, man. I'll move you down, bring Johnny up. He's been waiting a while.
My thing was pretty much the same as theirs with the warlording. When it was taken away, I didn't know about it, and I just happened to have my pistol out, and I was wondering why they couldn't tackle me. Can we make it like a bad RP thing instead of just changing it back to being able to warlord? Because it's like if you run your car into the sea to get away from the cops and you just drown yourself down there, that's bad RP. So is pulling out a gun as soon as you start a foot chase, just so you know the cops can't tackle you.
I mean, it sounds a good idea. That's something you have to talk to a member of staff about. I'm
Yeah, fair.
just a dev.
That was pretty
I
much
can
it.
make any script changes, but I don't make rule changes. And the whole warlording that's being disabled through script wise was a Brody thing anyway. He disabled it, so being that one of the owners changed it, I technically wouldn't have like necessarily the right to change it because they're kind of above me. So when we discuss it, like I would definitely put it in a suggestion because if it just doesn't like get documented somewhere, I will forget. I do too many things to remember things. So when we go through suggestions, that's probably when we'll go over like warlording and stuff like that again.
All right. That was pretty much it for me.
Yep.
Alright.
As far as PD suggestions go, I don't know if you have high command go through them, and then if it's like a good suggestion, then you put in the suggestions or whatnot. But I don't see them. Any bug reports or suggestions or anything put in these channels, I don't pay attention that well to the factions Discord. I have like way too much crap going on in main. So if there's a bug or a suggestion, throw it in main's Discord, not here.
Oh god. Mike Nor, the floor is yours again.
Just wanna clarify something, right? Because I don't want to get done for VDM. So going back to the whole say if you can hit the gas, drive off if they got a gun at you, and you can drive fearing for your life or whatnot. What if
Yeah.
they're standing in front of you? Can you hit the gas and hit them because technically it's self-defense and fearing for your life?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
I
won't
mean, criminals can do the same thing to cops. If a cop is standing in front of their car, they got free reign to just run you over. And it's even a fact
Okay,
of
okay.
I don't know if you guys do this in training. I don't know if you guys do this in training or not. But there's something I call in a police when you pull someone over in a traffic stop, there's something I call the death box. And it's the space between the front of your patrol car and the back of their car. Technically, if you're in that death box, all they gotta do is hit the reverse, and then you are smashing between the cars.
Yeah, we don't call it a death box, it's the kill zone.
Or kill zone, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Close enough.
when it comes to fearing for your life, hitting someone with your car like that, I think is fine. But now just like getting your car going, I don't like you, and just running them over, that is kind of different.
Yeah, obviously just running them over, that is different. But again, got a gun at you, and they're standing in front of you, you can just hit them, even if it kills them. Just hit them, just to get out of the way. That's what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, if a civilian is shooting at you and you're far enough away to get a good speed, you're also far enough away just to get going. If they're shooting at you, leave. Even in a cop situation, if you're getting shot at, leave. Get around a corner, call it out, get some backup, do something.
Hey, sorry
Don't
guys,
just
real quick.
freaking jump in and what's up?
Hello,
Sorry,
Commissioner.
Snow messaged me, and I just wanted to come in. And one thing, is please respond to drug calls. Please. I don't know if you guys have already covered it, but please respond to drug calls.
It
It's
has
very
not come up.
Okay. Just make sure that sorry, hold on. Oh my god, this radio. The minute that I hold on. Sorry.
Yes, the commissioner is
Okay.
there.
Yeah, please respond to drug calls. It's very important. We need to make sure that we're gonna tweak them and we're gonna make sure that the calls are coming in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna tweak them. We're gonna make sure they're 100%. But please respond to any drug call you see. Run it down. We will, like I said, make sure that the calls are working properly and the locals' phones are working and stuff. But yes, just please. That was it. That's my only 2 cents. Please make sure if you see a drug call, let's go to it. And that's it. Other than that, you guys are all doing a great job. Activity's been fantastic. Don't shoot anybody unless you're really mad. And that's pretty much it. I'm just kidding. Don't shoot anybody if you're mad. That was a joke. But
Unless it's the
other
commissioner.
than that, that's it. Just yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, unless it's Freeman. Okay. All right, guys. Love you all. Bye.
I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with the plate flag system. It only has certain locations that can ping, and even then, I don't think it's a 100% chance of it actually pinging. I can look into it, but as far as
I
know,
think what
flag is
Freeman is trying to say is to increase the flagging system in the more common areas. So down south side, north up in the hills, over and around those areas, we won't get flags. We won't get ping flags. It's only mainly the highways, which is like every now and again, Legion, Vespucci, San Andreas.
Yeah, there is something else too. I've been looking into trying to figure out the plate flag system as well as the cameras. I know the cameras have been really, really funky since we got a new map, all of our new maps and stuff. The plate flag, the plate flag system, and I'm thinking about actually tying in cameras into it. There's a system that I had way back, probably over a year ago now. A system that I built that basically put down a pole with a camera on it, and that camera was not only fully functional, but we can also use that camera as a plate flagging system. So that whichever direction that camera is pointing, not only will the camera be able to see it, but that can also be registered as a plate flag location. And that also allows us the ability of putting down plate flagging locations pretty much almost wherever we want them.
So what I was talking about a minute ago with the plate flagging system, we've been having an issue for the past few days now, where we flag a plate and it doesn't ping, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, after we flag it 10, 15 minutes later, it just starts pinging again. And we could be in an active 80 with the car and it won't ping, and then all of a sudden it'll just start pinging, and then it will stop pinging for a while, and then it'll start pinging again. It's being real iffy.
The plate flag system doesn't consistently ping the car all the time. It's not a thing of it pings this car, ping the car, ping the car, ping. They have to run past a ping flag location. I think there's on 30, 40 locations on the entire map. That when they run through that location, that's when it pings. So if they avoid those locations, you're not going to get nothing. They have to hit those locations in order to actually send off a ping. That's why a lot of times when you're being chased and people know where those locations are, then they can avoid them. You're never going to get a single thing. And then all of a sudden they're calm, whatever, and they start driving through those locations with a flagged plate. That's why I'll start going off again.
Okay, that makes sense because we've been having issues with it lately, just not pinging like it used to, basically. But I mean, like you said, if they're not, driving in the right areas, then that's understandable.
Roger, are you talking about that PD app on the phone? But also with the cameras / ping system, I'm going to be getting basically these camera poles that are fully functional cameras, so you'll be able to actually access any camera pretty much anywhere. Especially with the new highway division coming in, that's going to be useful throughout the highway. We can have it in Toledo, even have a couple locations in Sandy. Right now, I don't think there's any flagged locations in Sandy at all. So in some more populated areas, you can actually do that. And on top of that, if we get a 911 and you're like, oh, wait a minute, right here is a ping location. At that point, you can go like, oh, access camera, freaking whatever. You know, it'll tell you like what street all the cameras are on. And then you can literally just jump into that camera and go, oh, okay, that's where that is, and you can see what's going on. I'm also basically going to rework the camera system pretty much completely, and where you can actually get the camera to rotate, and it's gonna be one of those like black, like circular cameras that you see on the roof that have a 360 range, so you can turn the camera completely in 360 degrees.
Yeah.
It's probably going to take it out of the MDT if I can't figure out an automated way of doing it, and probably going to put it into like a menu or something like that. Hoping I can get it part of the MDT, but I'm not 100% on it.
Trial and error.
I'm also working on a couple other things.
But yeah, I see that half of our PDF left the meeting. I don't think there's any more points to talk about. Apologies for Rick not being there or anybody else from command not being here. I don't know where they at. They said they were going to be here, but I don't know. One thing I will bring up though is once I do get the channel imported into PD, every Sunday, well, my Sunday, I will be doing a report review from the Monday to that Sunday. So I'll be going through everyone's reports and doing a weekly report review to make sure everybody's reports are up to standard. Now this will reflect on yourself and your position. So if you are recommended for a promotion and I go to look at your reports and I see that they're not up to standard, it's the constant thing, then that recommendation will be pushed back until you start upping yourself. So if your name comes up in report reviews as a constant basis, then obviously there's something you need to work on and something you need a hand with. But Jenkins looks like he wants to come up. We'll bring him up before we end this.
All right, so I got one thing for you, Snow.
Yep.
Since both you guys are here, and there's not going to be a bunch of people that they're going to have backlash in this idea. What if we put essentially like a police complaint ticket in the factions Discord for police high command?
Just police high command to
That way,
see.
just for police high command to see. But I mean, obviously, anybody can make a ticket, even cadets, if they see things that, for lack of better terms, are disrespectful, people abusing power or not following chain of command, or like any complaint that's other than that wouldn't be covered in like an IA type of thing. You know what I mean?
We're talking for something like high command or even state to look at.
Yeah.
A ticket system for cops.
Well, he's talking about
Yeah.
something taken above IA, or even IA can't.
Yeah, I'm talking. I'm talking like that. Just like the chief, assistant chief, and captains can see, and state, to where if people are having issues with, certain officers, or it seems like certain officers are targeting them or somebody else or something of that nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm fine with that. I don't know if you're fine with that.
I have no issue. I don't know how difficult it's going to be.
I think that would solve a lot of the issues we've been having in police chat, with people being disrespectful and argumentative towards each other and all that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, sounds good to me. I forget who's over our Discord.
Other than that, that's all I really have to contribute to all this.
Okay. Well, with that being said,
other than that, Freeman, you can't fly any better than Snow. That's all I got, Bubba.
You're worse than him.
How in the hell are you gonna say that?
You know what? I think we need to bring Colt Miller back as Air One.
No. Let's go right here, right now. Let's go jump in Air One. I'll show you I can fly.
I bet. Let me fly then.
You're not Air One, sir. You can't do that. But I'll definitely show you I can fly.
I bet you're not in city though.
Give me 10 minutes. I'll be in city.
All right. So we don't jump off topic. Everyone's left, so I guess we will call this meeting adjourned for now. We will reconvene at another point in time when another PD meeting is needed.
Oh, one more thing. Can we make these like a bi-weekly kind of thing? That way, there's never, that way there's not build up between a bunch of things and like something slip through the cracks. Where if we have them like bi-weekly, we can stay on top of shit more.
Yeah, we can keep it to every Friday at the same time as we did today, 11 p.m. GMT, whatever it is for you guys in Waikiki State.
Could we update the MDT database? Because I've seen the police documents, like the rank requirements for cars, and it's different in the database. I know some of that's really out of date.
What do you mean in the database? I've updated it all.
Oh, I guess I just haven't checked it since you did that then.
Yeah, I already updated all the cars.
All right. I know that like the roster was several months out of date. I didn't know when that was going to be updated, if it would be, but you got it handled. So never mind.
Roster's fully updated.
All right.
Yeah, roster is updated. Vehicles have been updated. OMP punishments have been updated. Information board has been changed and updated.
I don't have to look at those very often, but when I do, I saw that they were bad, but I'll give them a check later then.
Yep. One thing I am gonna touch on though before we do adjourn this. I do apologize. I am trying to, let you guys go back to your day. Paying lawyers. Now, if a lawyer has been requested to sell, we are required to pay them on all circumstances. I don't want to hear that a lawyer is not being paid and have the complaint coming to me that us in PD are refusing to pay them. No.
Do you know who that was?
Who refused to pay them?
Yes.
It was Thompson, but I dealt with it.
Okay. I didn't know if it ever came who did what. Thompson did refuse it, but I did pay the lawyer because I was standing right there as he was trying to argue out of paying.
I dealt with it.
That feels like an extra fine we should give the crim on that part since they're requesting the lawyer.
I don't think, does it come out of PD's pocket to pay?
No, it comes out of just government.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Comes out government.
I've never had to pay a lawyer before.
Yeah, neither have I. That's what.
So when you pay lawyer, it's slash judge, I'm afraid.
Yeah. I only arrest people when it's late at night and there's no DOJ on.
I was gonna say they're public defenders are paid for by the state, not by the Grim.
Okay.
Now, what if they called a specific lawyer down? Would we still have to pay that lawyer?
Yes.
But no, I'm saying like if they grab their phone.
If it's a
No,
private
they call
lawyer.
their own private attorney, which is, to my knowledge, there is none right now in city, then they would have to cover that expense.
That's what I was asking.
They have to be passed by the bar exam, which the bar exam is through DOJ. And if they do pass the bar exam, they are a DOJ employee.
So they're still technically a public defender.
Yeah, like you would see them on the map, basically. If you don't see them on the map as far as a DOJ employee, and they refuse to actually like clock in and be like, okay, hey, I am a DOJ employee, then no, they're not allowed to be inside of the police station as a public defender or any kind of lawyer.
Gotcha.
But If that is all, gents, we will call this meeting adjourned and we will reconvene next week.
Steve's got his hand up.
Yeah. No, I invited DeLuca to come up. He was the only one down there at the time, so I invited him to come up. He's one of my guys.
Oh, now we got Hunter down there. Oh, jeez.
I have one question though, Snow.
Hunter can just jump up here. I'm inviting him
How does your schedule look this weekend, Snow?
this weekend.
Yeah.
Through the day, I am tidying up deliveries. Now, that's one thing I'm going to touch on. I know there's not many people here to hear it, but I am recording it. Now, deliveries, they only look like the way they do is because with the amount of complaints that we had in PD chat that the PD cars we had were too slow and when are we getting this new PD fleet, it got to the point within the staff team, right? We just need to get these cars out. So deliveries were they were just slapped on the car quickly and put out so we can get rid of the other cars.
Yes, Mr. Pearl.
So I'm slowly. Obviously, we have a lot of cars, a lot of PD cars. So there's a lot for me to get through and to edit and change and to send across. So with everyone like complaining to me that yo, there's something wrong with this livery, something wrong with this livery, this needs to be changed, that needs to be changed. Just I know. I'm doing it. It's on my list.
I wasn't even referring to that. I just didn't know like if you were busy this weekend.
Oh,
with all the with the other shit you do outside of PD. You know what I mean?
There's only deliveries I'm doing right now. But I do that through the daytime of my time. Nighttime, I'm either on duty or I'm doing the whole Gears of War campaign.
I got you. I just didn't know if you were going to have time for Air 1 training or anything.
That'd be nice.
Next Air 1 training session will be Thursday.
Thursday, got it.
Yeah, because that's when EMS are already around. So I'm gonna do a mass Air 1 training session.
What time is that? Because I don't normally get off work until like 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
You're talking gibberish to me now.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll take it back.
I don't even
An
know.
hour after me. It would be 6 hours behind you. 7 hours behind you.
Pull it up. Pull it up in between the.
It's an hour behind me, and I'm 5 hours behind you.
I'm sorry.
Something
Freeman
like
just blew the helicopter up. It's 10 out of 10, guys.
Of course he did.
He said take it back in front of everybody right now as he proceeds to smack into the bridge.
All right. Defend myself though. I was doing absolutely freaking amazing, and then all of a sudden, my whole screen went like glitchy for a second.
Bird strike, yeah. Bird strike, yeah.
No, that was a bridge strike.
Nah, it was definitely a bridge strike.
Solid flying there, Freeman.
Yeah.
It was 10 out of 10.
That I will straight up admit that, like, literally I just saw nothing for a second, and it was just like there's nothing I could do. It just literally the tail rotor went straight into the freaking bridge.
Now back to what I was going to ask you before Freeman decided to fucking crash and kill us. Is there a time that if Freeman's around, if he could fly to the airport and I can go down with him just to make sure that all of my muscles actually work before I try Air 1 training?
I mean, you could borrow his helicopter.
His personal, yes. L1.
Oh,
yes. The PD, no.
Wait, so you mean to tell me that you expect people to jump into Air 1 and do a test with you without actually flying it first?
No, they go down the airport and they go through the training.
I gotcha.
You came down to the airport in L1 when I was doing it.
Yeah, for
EMS.
It's the same thing for PD.
That is the first time I have actually crashed a helicopter. That was my fault, I think. Yeah. Fucking bridge.
All right, ladies and gents. We will call this meeting adjourned. We will reconvene. next week on Friday at the same time.
Oh, so we're gonna be doing a meeting every week now?
Yes.
Bi-weekly or weekly, one or the other.
Nice.
Yes. The command members expect a command meeting with myself either later on today or tomorrow.
So I cannot take Leroy down to the airport and let him fly around for a minute. That's what you're saying.
In your personal helicopter, we can.
No, I mean an Air One. I can't do it.
I will allow it for tonight, since we are coming to the point in the time where people start to fly out.
This is why I love you, Snow. All right.
Just when you're down at the airport, just clock yourselves out.
Yeah, 10
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it really matters though, because you can still do jobs clocked in or clocked out, right?
Yes, but at that point, you're essentially paycheck farming if you're just down there not responding.
Training. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but then you add to PD counts.
No, you add to them no matter what, whether you're on duty or off duty.
As long as you have PD as your job.
It's been fixed.
Oh, it has.
Oh, it has now. Finally.
Okay.
No,
Does
it's
it
been
still
fixed
show
for
on
at
home
least a
screen?
week or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't know because the last time I checked it, it still wasn't fixed.
So if I go on duty, law enforcement,
I think it still shows on the home button, but it doesn't actually count, which kind of messes with me.
No, well, look at this. Hold on. Screen. So at the moment, I am clocked on duty. Duty is false. No jobs. Duty menu, clock on. Jobs available. Clock off. Not available.
So it
Okay,
doesn't
so
even
the-
count if we die, because this should give you more options because there's 3 of us.
I'm on dev server right now.
Oh, that's
yeah,
awkward.
well, then again, also dev is a little different from home server. But if he's fixed it, it's fixed. That's all that matters.
Do you need more officers to test that the 5 PD thing that you're trying out?
Oh, that's where I'm going to after this.
I will be needing more people, but right now I'm trying to get the state PD move because I'm having set to turn off. So if I don't get this done, we're not going to have an apartment at all in like an hour.
Will my personal vehicles move, or do I need to move my personal vehicles?
Like I
The
said,
entire garage is moving. Like this garage. Oh shoot, this garage right here, or okay, where she was, already got moved. All that is basically moving here.
Leroy, fly to the damn or see the light.
I did.
Okay, yeah. There's a ride for us sitting outside.
Yeah, I'm waiting to actually get up out of bed.
I'm not metagaming, okay? I just fucked up. I'm just trying to get through it.
It's okay. I haven't
You
fixed
put it-
my
you
voice
put it over
chat yet
radio.
anyway, so I just thought
You
about
put it over
that.
radio, it's good.
See, you know, the good old prosecutor taking care of PD.
Damn straight. Does anybody have issues when like they wake up in Zona that they have that it's like bright as fuck and you can't see?
It's bright and
sometimes,
fuzzy.
sometimes I go into Zona and it's fine, and other times I get in there and it's bright as fuck. It's
Oh.
just a Zona thing.
I didn't know if it was something in my settings for visual I could fix or not.
Like I said, I've been in there sometimes and the map looks beautiful. It's great. And then I'll walk out and walk right back in and it's fucked.
Gotcha.
It's
Cap, so you said I do or don't need to move my vehicles. I know
You don't.
You do. Oh.
I don't. Okay, good.
I don't want to. The entire garage is moving over there.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Welcome to the late meeting, Mr. Smith. It's just about to be adjourned.
I don't want to be that guy, but I got a M8 stuck in your seized parking lot. If you guys want.
Oh, you're getting banned.
I'm getting
You're done.
banned?
You're done. We just had this conversation. You're done.
Are you at PD?
I can come right now.
Well, we may or may not be here. You know, I'm not metagaming this, so Just letting you know.
Find
No,
out in
I'll do the
RP.
whole.
With the gang
Yeah, I'll
members.
do the whole roadie. I'll do like 911, 911. Sorry, 911.
9/11.
No, I'll come pick it up. Anything
No,
moving
you
that
do
happened?
311s, not
But-
911s.
But just find your shit in the garage.
No reason. I see.
I like how you knew what vehicle was his too. That's the best fucking part.
It's the only one.
Oh.
Yep.
Should I damage the hell out of it before I give it back to him?
We should pop
Smash all the
we should pop all
windows.
4 tires.
Take all the shit out of the glove box. I mean, you know, the big dick sweat.